Making custom wool felt letters has been such a rewarding and fun process for me. I made one for every member of my family this year, and it was just a great experience to customize all these letters with beads, with wool embellishments. The options are really endless, and it makes for a really meaningful present and gift that doesn't take too long to achieve. You're just going to need some basic supplies for this project. You're going to need some wet felt fabric. We have 2 free videos to show how to achieve these. If this is not your style, you can also grab a wool felt sheet, and we carry these here in the shop. You'll also need some embroidery floss, and I'm using DMC 6-strand embroidery floss. You'll need your stuffing, and I'll talk more about why I use this kind of stuffing later. You'll also need your needles, and I'll also discuss some of my favorite needles for this project. You'll need your ribbon or twine to hang your felt letter, and you'll also want to grab yourself some beads, and I'm going to show you some simple, really easy ways to install those beads onto your piece. Grab your felt letter templates. I printed these on cardstock so that they're nice and sturdy when we're tracing our letter onto our fabric. Use a pencil or erasable pen for that step, and you'll want to trace it onto your fabric that way. This is going to be really nice, and if you want to use the exact same letter font and size, we're going to have a PDF available for you. From this moment on, every time you cut into your felt fabric or your felt sheet, save any scraps, any wool scraps from your studio. All of that is going to be really great, and as soon as you start working with it, when you're stuffing your letters, you're going to see why. For your fabric, you're going to need a piece of felt that is big enough for you to get 2 of your letter, because you're going to need the front and the back. So I have here folded my piece in half just to make sure that I can get 2 out of it. Same with your felt sheet here as well. Make sure that it's big enough for you to get a front and a back out of your letter. For reference, this felt sheet is 8 inches by 12 inches. So you know, if you use the PDF that we have supplied, then your letter will fit on an 8 by 12 felt sheet. When you're tracing, you can use your pencil or your erasable pen to go around the edges of the letter. If your fabric has an obvious right or wrong side, make sure to get a mirror image of your letter. If you're using a felt sheet, it doesn't matter. Once you've traced out your shape, cut right along the outline. And you're ready for the next step. To begin your blanket stitch, grab your embroidery floss. If you're a beginner, you may want to start with a more manageable piece of thread that's about 18 to 21 inches. If you've been sewing for a while and you don't want to run out of your thread, you could go with about 3 feet, or I like to use my wingspan. After you've cut your thread, divide it in half. I'm using 6-strand embroidery floss, so I'm going to cut it into 3 and 3 by dividing equally in half and splitting the length. You'll want to make sure that the end of your thread isn't touching your table or your floor when you're trying to split this thread, so that it can unravel itself easily. Once you've split your thread, tie a knot at the end and thread your needle. Now that you're ready to begin stitching, pin the 2 sides of your ornament together so that you're not worried about them going askew. To begin your blanket stitch, insert your needle between your layers of fabric and exit through the face of the letter. Go around the edge, enter through the back, going through both layers, and exit through that first entry point. Run your needle under that first stitch to secure it, and that's how you begin your blanket stitch. To continue your blanket stitch, enter your needle through the front piece of fabric, going through both layers this time. Make sure that your needle is in front of that trailing thread when you enter it to create your blanket stitch. This gives you that classic line that trails along the seam of your letter in a blanket stitch. Continue this stitch until you reach a natural point of stuffing or you run out of thread. When you get to a point that you know you're going to run out of thread, it's time to tie off your thread. At the top, you'll enter your needle through the very back of your last stitch. And once you've done so, you'll have a small loop. Enter your needle through the loop and tie a knot like you normally would. I like to do this twice to ensure that my knot won't come undone when I continue my stitch. You want to tie a knot at the end. You'll cut the end and bury the tail within the 2 layers of your felt. To continue your stitch, enter your needle right through the knot that you just tied off. This will help you create a very seamless blanket stitch. From there, you can continue on just as you were. Enter through the very front piece of felt, through the 2 layers, and continue your stitch. To stuff your letters, you're going to start when you get to a point that you can no longer access the inside of the letter. For example, with this J, when I get to the very end, I know if I keep stitching, I'm not going to be able to easily access that point. The stuffing I'm using here today is all scrap pieces of felt fabric. Some of it is wet felted fabric and some of it is felt sheet fabric. This is why I had you save all of those scrap pieces before, so you can turn it into your own stuffing. The reason I like this stuffing is it's eco-friendly. We've created a zero waste project because we're using every bit of this wool. The main reason I like to use this, however, is because it creates a very stiff stuffing. My letter is going to be nice and firm throughout. It also doesn't leave fuzz coming out the edges of your letters like it would if you were using regular stuffing. When you're stuffing, you'll grab small bits of your scrap wool and begin pushing it into the part that you're trying to stuff. If it's a little hard to reach, you can grab your tweezers or an apple stick to help guide the wool along. Once you get to a point you think it's very well stuffed, then you're good to continue your stitch. However, if you find that it's a little overstuffed, no worries. Just scooch along some of that felt to another area and play around with it. You want to make sure you get a pretty even stuff as you go, otherwise your letter might look a little wonky. If you'll notice, when I began my blanket stitch, I started past the point of where I'm going to attach my ribbon so that I could attach it as I'm continuing my blanket stitch. When you grab your ribbon or whatever thread you're going to use as a hanger, make sure that it's the appropriate length that you'd like before you stitch it in. Place the ribbon or thread in between your 2 layers of felt, and when you're blanket stitching, just make sure you stitch right through that ribbon and it's secured in there. Continue your blanket stitch all the way to the very end of your letter and tie off like you did before. If you're liking the way this beautiful rainbow felt fabric is turning out, we'll have a resource for you on that in just a minute. Embellishing your felt fabric with beads is super simple. I like to grab a variety of beads in different shapes and sizes, and I usually try to match the color similar to the felt fabric that I'm using. When embellishing felt fabric, I used these needles here. The main key importance with your needle choice is that you want a small eye. These are fine quilting needles and they worked perfect for me. To embellish, I began with the same embroidery floss that I'm going to use on the blanket stitch. This is DMC floss that I've split right in half, and I like to use a color that blends in well with my felt sheet so that you don't see each stitch of my beads. Tie a knot at the end of your thread and thread your needle. Once you're ready to begin stitching, you'll enter through the back of your fabric, add a bead onto your thread, and then re-enter your needle through the front of that fabric about the width of your bead. Now your bead is on and secure. You'll continue to do this evenly throughout the whole letter. When adding your beads, be sure to leave room around the perimeter for your blanket stitch. Don't worry too much about exactly where each bead is going, because by the end it'll come together and look like a great little sprinkling of beads. When you've finished, you'll tie off your thread by entering through one of the stitches on the back of your fabric and tying a double knot to ensure that your beads are on safe and secure. If you're felting a letter that has a cutout in the center like an O, a B, or a P, you're gonna wanna start with the center part. If you're not into wet felting, please don't get discouraged by using the felt sheets. I seriously had so much fun picking the felt sheet and matching the beads and the thread to each person that I made these for. I think I made over 15, and each one of them was so different and so unique to the person that I was giving it to. Once you've gone around the center portion of any letters that have a cutout, you don't have to end your thread and cut it. You can just stick your needle in through that last stitch and bring it through. Now you've got a complete finished center, and your needle is already in the center to begin your stitch around the outside. This is about the point where I would like to start stuffing this letter, considering I wouldn't be able to reach this part of the O once I get up to here. The goal here is just a nice even stuffing. There's no need to overstuff because you don't want to stretch your stitches, causing the letters to open up at the seam. What do you think? Who's going to be the first lucky person you're going to make a letter for? Let us know down below. I'm a really big fan of this satin ribbon that I used here, but the first time I did it, I braided 3 strands of embroidery floss together, and I really liked that as well. So tell me what you're going to use to hang your letter. Are you going to try your hand at the felt sheets or the handmade wet felt? I know that when I did this project, I really got excited about trying the wet felting. It was something I had never done before and was very intimidated by, but I'll just tell you that it was so rewarding, and on this project, it is the perfect place to use it. If you want to try your hand out at this with felt sheets, we've got some really fun bundles available, even more than what you see right here, as well as you can buy the sheets individually. Or if you want to try your hand at wet felting like we did here, check out this next video for a super fun method.